Hello! I didn't think I was gonna have time to record this. Because so last time we spoke last I spoke to you guys, I was having a bad day. And I had to take a couple of days off, not because of that, but also I just had to do something. So I've been really busy lately with a lot of things. Like I was out all day yesterday. I've been creating a lot, which is fantastic, but I've also got my channel, so yeah, let's just say, I finished creating, so, I can't tell you, but let's just say it has to do with the Chipmunks Origin Season 2, so more on that later on, with other things coming out as well. So yeah, so besides that, we are going to talk about Peter Pan and Wendy. Now, unfortunately, I can't cover this tomorrow, because I have an appointment tomorrow. I thought I could, but then it would be another day because I saw this movie Friday and today's Sunday where I am. So if I did that, then I'll have to rewatch the movie again. Like, I might watch it again. I just, like to get these movie reviews out when I've seen the movie for the very, very first time, not like 3 or 4 times. Anyway, but besides that, we're going to talk about Peter Pan and Wendy. So yeah, so I saw this movie with my mom on Disney Plus. It was really good. Like, I really enjoyed it. Like, really good. I've seen some other movie reviews of it being very positive about this movie because some people aren't positive about the live action remakes, as I am. But hey, I love the live action remakes. There's nothing wrong with them. We'll see about the Little Mermaid. Ugh. Anyway, besides that, so let's talk about Peter Pan and Wendy. Now, because the movie's fantastic. The movie's really, really good. The first half of the scene, you enter kind of like, the Darling's house, basically. And you can see like references like, oh, hey, there's the window that Peter comes out of. Oh, hey, there's the beds and stuff, even though it's a little bit different now. So, basically, you know what the whole premise is of the story. But say that when I was thinking to myself, before I watched this movie with my mom, of course, I'm like, I don't know what to expect from this movie, because sometimes with the live-action remakes, they do a shot-for-shot remake, like The Lion King, or they do something completely different. So it's hard to pinpoint, but it was really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. Really good stuff there. So, yes. So anyway, so that was really cool. Also, Neverland itself, I still think they should have done more color on Neverland because it just looks like they've been on the field somewhere. But there's actually interesting points in the movie you're going to miss out because, there's a rainbow upside down in one of the scenes. You'll have to pause it to see it. And then there's Saturn. So technically speaking, they're saying like Neverland is like a different world. Sort of like Alice in Wonderland, come to figure it. Because Alice in Wonderland is a different world to the real world. So that would make sense. So I kind of like those hidden details. You gotta have eagle eyes. And my mom, saw them twice, like the upside down rainbow over Neverland and then the, Saturn as well. So that's interesting stuff. It begs the question if Neverland's like in an alternate universe, basically. So, yeah. So, yes, everybody here does a really good job. I was nervous about Tinkerbell because I'm a huge Tinkerbell fan. I got my Tinkerbell necklace on today. So I'm a huge Tinkerbell fan, and I'm gonna say she did a mediocre job. Like, it wasn't the greatest job, to be honest with you. Like, my mum and I were talking about it yesterday because we were out, and my mum was showing me a picture of Hook. I haven't seen all the Peter Pan iterations, but I've heard of them, and they put Julia Roberts in an old daggy outfit. Oh my god, it was so horrible. Like, why would they do that to Julia Roberts? She is famous. Oh my god. At least she had clothes on. Let's just say that. But Tinkerbell, she did her best. It's not the greatest. I would like to see more of sass and stuff like that, because Tinkerbell's got like that sass and short-temperedness, which I like about her. She doesn't go over extravagant as a character, but she does her best. I still don't think she's the right Tinkerbell, in my opinion. Not because of color or racist, but I just think they draw the ball on Tinkerbell as well. So that's what I think. But overall, she did a pretty good job. At the ending, we'll talk about the ending later, but she actually talked for a little bit. Because in the whole movie, it's interesting, because in the whole movie, Peter Pan saying, Wendy says, how come I don't understand fairies? And Peter says, you know, fairies have a different language as well. So she's like, so he's like to her, oh, you know, Tinkerbell, you can't understand Tinkerbell, but once you, oh man, once you, you know, once Tinkerbell, because Tinkerbell, you can't understand Tinkerbell, and Wendy's like, why is that? And because it's fairies have their own communication, like I said before, but also you got to believe to see it. And I think this version of Wendy is sort of like Jane from the sequel. I really got that. Like, Wendy's not like this in the original. No. She's different. But it's a good change. I mean, I think her mother, they switched the roles because Wendy's usually the one that tells stories to the boys. And it's different in this one. And her mother tells a story to the children as well. Not in the film, but I kind of got the gist of that. And also at the ending, and the dad was like, who's that? And she's like, Peter Pan. So obviously her mother has met Peter Pan when she was younger. That makes a lot of sense. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, but also I was glad. The only positive I think I could think about Tinkerbell, the only positive is that she rings. And I was a bit nervous. I was like, oh, I don't know. But she does ring as well, because that's Tinkerbell's, you know, sort of communication. But when she talked, I'm like, no, that's too fun. Nah, no. It was nice, but I'm like, don't make her talk. It makes them more creepy. You know, fairies aren't supposed to talk. So yeah. So that's my thoughts on Tinkerbell. Let's talk about Captain Hook and Peter Pan. Now, in this version of Captain Hook and Peter Pan, first off, Jude Lord is a great Captain Hook. He was so menacing, so cruel, so violent, more vicious in this one than the original. I mean, in the original, it was more campy in that one, but this, oh my god, a new level. And we got some pirate swords, which were very interesting. I kind of like the themes of some of them, as well as some of the parts of the movie that they, you know, had the swords in. That was really interesting. The score in this is great as well, by the way. It's really good. Anyway, so Captain Hook. So Peter Pan and Captain Hook, because, you know, in the movie they discuss what happened with Captain Hook and Peter Pan, because we all know what happened, but we had to pause it at one point because we're like, wait, what? And there's different iterations of what happened to Peter Pan, but basically, you know, what happened with Captain Hook and Peter Pan is Peter cut his hand off, and that's why he has a hook, of course, and then the crocodile consumed his head, you know, as well. So that's the whole basis of the story. But in this story, it's a little bit more different, because in this story, they actually made Captain Hook a very tragic villain. I'm gonna say, I'm like, what? It made him a very tragic villain with a very tragic backstory as well, and that is connected to Peter, and they used to be best friends. And it was so fantastic to see that, you know, with villains, they can be menacing, but you need a really good past. So I'm glad they showed that and explored through the movie. I don't want to spoil anything, but explores through the movie who they are today, why they have a rivalry, which I thought was fantastic and a really great way to show it as well. So that was really good. Also, in the ending part of the movie, and the ending sort of threw me off a bit, because, you know, the Lost Boys went to London and they stayed, I don't know if they stayed with the Darlings, obviously, but we'll see. You know, the ending kind of threw me because of that, but also I'm like, why doesn't Peter stay? And we actually get to realize, we get more of his past and say that he was a kid. So you kind of think, is Peter Pan some make-believe character and that's who he is and people just believe in Peter Pan? Is that what we're referring to, sorry? So yeah, so it's very interesting as well. So yeah, so besides the ending, there's one funny thing I noticed in the movie. I don't know if you caught this. So has anyone noticed, I'll show you pictures. Has anyone noticed that Jude Law's hair is white, and then because he gets attacked by the crocodile in Skull Island, which we'll discuss. Really good stuff there. And his hair is like white, but then when he jumps in the ocean, he's got like hair tie. I'm like, who made that choice of making his hair white and then they just dyed it with brown? That's so stupid. I'm like, why exactly? Did I run out of time? Did I just like, no one knows. I noticed it. And it's sort of like, because I'm a girl, so I kind of dyed my hair, not big, or maybe one time. But I've used, dye, and dye is supposed to stay in, not trickle down your face. It felt like Captain Hook was like having like a existential crisis with his hair, and it's sort of like you can see like all the running hair dye. So I'm not sure if that was a really good choice. I'm not sure. I don't know, but it just kind of freaked my what? Why does Captain Hook have grey hair? It was brown and it was grey. So yeah, that was weird. Really weird stuff. Yeah, so let's talk about the crocodile scene. Okay, so the crocodile scene was really good. I really enjoyed it. Very amazing crocodiles. Got the TikTok crocodile in it. And, he ate someone. And I'm like, well, Dave gave the crocodile and Captain Hook a very menacing, conniving sort of personality as well. So that's very interesting as well. So, I think it's a really good movie. What else was I going to say really quickly? Let's see. I was going to say that at the end, because, the end is kind of different to the original, because in the original, we thought that the crocodile was going to eat Captain Hook. That's what we thought. And, it was very interesting. Like, the ending, like, after the credits rolled, there was an ending part, and Peter Pan obviously went back to Neverland, to get his friend James. So that was very interesting as well. Also, this begs a question, because in the movie, they've changed a lot of stuff from the movie. In the movie, it's noticeable that Peter Pan, when he sort of, like, I don't want to spoil anything, but when he, does a near-death experience, but it was very interesting to see that the pixie dust left him. So I'm wondering, is Tinkerbell the source of pixie dust? Because when you think about Peter Pan, he flies. So does Tinkerbell, make him magic? Is he not magic himself? Like, what was going on? That was kind of confusing, but I think Tinkerbell's the source of the magic, and the magic running out of Peter. So, yeah, so very interesting stuff. The character arc in the last act was very interesting between Peter and Captain Hook as well. So that's all I got time for, guys. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to Miller's Next video, guys.